A lot of Americans see Africans, see Nigerian as ignorant people. You know, when the movie act, when they say somebody, police, and the ambulance come, we don't get to see where they charge you for the bills in the movie. Now, I grew up thinking it's only Nigeria they bleach. When I was in Malaysia, Malaysians bleach. Indians bleach. Like, they really use cream. And I asked them, like, why? They were like, yeah, because when you're dark, that's the way they look you too. Thank you. My name is Oyebanji Akins, and you can call me Don't Like the New Name in 2025. This is a solo episode again. And on this solo episode, I'm having another guest. But this guest we have, she's an American, but for those that know in the Nigerian community, call her Shade. So Shade is going to be the one behind this particular episode, asking some questions and perspective about Nigerian perspective about Americans. So it's gonna be like 5 questions. So for you guys watching, that you never hear my part about when it comes to Americans. And one of the reasons we're doing this topic is CTDA, media stands for Connecting the Dot Africa. And for us being here in America, it's not just about Africa alone. This media has about giving room for people like Americans to share their views and ask questions. The person that's going to be asking the question. So, Shadi, your first question.
What's the general perception of America and Americans in Nigeria?
I will use my own view to answer this. It all depends on where you're from as a Nigerian. I think we have 500 and something language in Nigeria. So that should tell you different kind of Nigerians we have. But people talk about the most basic ones, which is Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. But in those three places, there's so many other tribes. So it will be hard for me to say I'm talking for the entire tribes. So for those that relate from my own view, this may apply to them. For those that doesn't come from my side of, I'm from Southwest. Actually, I'm from Ogun State, Abeokuta, close to Lagos. So there's a view of Lagosians, there's a view from people from Ogun State. It's just like when you're in America, where people say Houston and Dallas. So back to the question. For me growing up, the word American becomes so clear to me when I go to America. Americans to me when I was young was just white people. That's Americans to me. You know, when I started growing up, I started understanding there's black Americans and there's white Americans. To me, I just feel like when you see white people, that's American. I never knew. I never grew up knowing there's some black. They are black Americans. So I grew up watching movie of black people. I don't even know it's called Black Americans. I just know they're black people. So I grew up with the society of the media to start picking what is Black American and what is White American. For me, because of how I grew up, my parents gave me the opportunity of I went to Catholic school. So I grew up with white, Hispanic, Caucasians, Chinese, Indian. These are the people I grew up. At the same time, in my neighborhood, I'm having my real friends that are not those people. So growing up for me, I would say I see Americans that, in the sense that it's a way we're being raised systematically to just see them like high, not being told that they are high, but systematically you can feel like they're superior than you. But because of my school, there's nothing like superior. We're just everybody we play. So I didn't have that, but I have that conversation around people around me, around my neighborhood. That's for me. So that's what I'm saying. Like I can't generalize my view for everybody else. So in my view, and people that might go through my own way of how they see it, that have an opportunity of parents giving them that privilege of being around the right crowd. So I don't see that. But when I grow up to where I am now, I would say Americans now for me in America that I'm living here, a lot of Americans see Africans, see Nigerian as ignorant people. A lot of Americans. And when I say that, I generalize it. I'm not saying black, I'm not saying white. I'm just saying generally. They just feel like there's this way where Nigerians are ignorant because they feel like they know better. That's the clause that comes with it. Now, but for me, I would say there's still a lot of gap, which would build this brand, this media campaign about saying connecting the dots. And the reason is being privileged to live in Asia, I see the same gap in Nigeria between how the media make it to look at black and white. When I live in Malaysia, it's the same thing. Indians will tell you that when you're black Indians, there's a way they treat you when you're light skinned Indian. This is something that I experienced one on one. Chinese have their own case too. There's a way dark Chinese treat light skinned Chinese. Now I grew up thinking it's only Nigeria they bleach. When I was in Malaysia, Malaysians bleach. Indians bleach. Like they really use cream. And I asked them like why? They were like, yeah, because when you're dark, there's a way they look you too. So that makes me realize there's a perspective around the world that the media has. I branch into that part to just make a reference to what I'm trying to say about how Nigerians might see Americans. Now coming back to how I see American coming here, because I've lived in different places, I didn't have a bad view of Americans. But there's a way the media make us to feel about Americans, especially black Americans. So in short word, what I would say is for a Nigerian like me raised in the 80s, coming to America in my early, should I say 20s? When I say 20s, I don't mean my age. I mean like 10 years ago. I still feel like there's a big gap in how we see ourselves. And hopefully the media will help us to start seeing us where we don't prejudge and predict what we think we should expect from each other. That's what I would say to you.
All right. The second question is, do Nigerians see it as the land of opportunity, or is there a different view?
Hmm. That's a big one. I can talk about myself and I'm going to share it in a very funny way. I have two experiences in my life. The number one is when I went to Malaysia, I had to put my head down. I'm from Yoruba land. I don't know what it is with me. I'm like, dang, like you really, really, nobody. I won't say nobody have ever traveled in my family. People have traveled, but in my own family, we've never moved to that level. So I'm like, damn. I put my head. I'm like, damn, Malaysia, man. But then a lot of things happen after that, and there's this way as much as Nigerians might have different views about America. And everybody love America. Like that's the truth. I don't care how or what. There's this perspective of Americans that we see back home. Like we still feel like you guys have the freedom. That's another thing the world don't know. Yeah, that's the conversation we have. Like, and the reason is this. The media make us feel like when you see a car is free, like the house is free, the medical house is free. When the movie act when they say somebody police, and the ambulance come, we don't get to see where they charge you for the bills in the movie. so so in Nigeria they're like, man, Nigeria is bad. When the government call the police, you don't get to see the police, you don't get to see the ambulance, not knowing the amount you're gonna pay. Man, that's gonna be the house for you, Nigeria. The amount you're gonna pay after the ambulance come, you tell yourself like next time, please don't call the ambulance. I think I'm fine. So I think that part of us, we come here with the hope of taking every chance because we feel like you guys are not. We always feel like you guys are not taking it. But when a lot of us come down here, which I can tell you categorically, a lot of Nigerians struggle with something that I've said in this podcast before: cultural shock. A cultural shock is you not knowing how to position yourself, what is right for you. That's why you see a lot of Nigerians that are really into like corporate jobs back home in Nigeria becomes like driving Uber in America. Not because they can't get a bank job, it's just because of how are you going to quickly set yourself in a system that you really don't know. Now don't forget the first question you asked me is how do we see Americans? The system already systematically make you feel want to do yes sir when you say white people. So you automatically want to give that even they don't ask you. Now, for somebody like me from Yoruba land, we're raised to just put "sa" to an elderly people. Not because you're superior to me, you're just raised to respect you. So when you get to a and in some corporate job in Nigeria, they demand it. Some bosses will demand it. Say, "Can't you say yes, man, to me? Yeah, can't you say yes, sir?" So imagine you coming from a job where your boss would ask you like, "Are you not going to greet me today?" "Oh, good morning, sir." And you come to America, you see your boss, you're like, "Good morning, sir." Your boss will look like, "What the hell is that for?" Like, I'm not going to double your salary, or why are you saying so? So it shocks some people and they don't have the right people to talk to. Unfortunately for me, I don't have that. So that limits some Nigerians in the kind of work they do. And that I think COVID helped in getting a lot of Nigerians to corporate job because they were working from home. So when you're able to get into the COVID working from home, a lot of Nigerians now work a lot in the corporate. So for us, the way we get it done, it makes a lot of. I'm not saying general Nigerians, for some Nigerians to look down on Americans to like If I can get here and get this done, why are you here there and you're telling me you can't get it done? So it's still not about a systematic way of how we see ourselves. And that's why I go back to saying that's one of the reasons why we have the media saying just to allow people to have a room to respectfully share their truth. This is just my truth. I'm not saying I'm right to other people. I'm just saying my own view of what I've been able to learn about how we see America.
So many Americans are curious. We are about how the U.S. is seen abroad.
Okay, so it all depends on this part of how it's being seen abroad. To us, you guys, America's abroad. To us, back home. To you, Nigeria is abroad. You get what I'm saying? I think for an American today, for Black Americans actually, even though it's still kind of strange, you see some American artists they'll tell like I don't want to do anything about African, like which they have every right. Because for me being here for how long, for going to 10 years, I just realized people are shaped by their past, and you can't judge them on whatever they say. But the media paint it and they generalize it to everybody. So for me, I think Black Americans should be proud of actually Nigerians because we're doing Halloween, we're doing everything you guys are doing, man. Man, they're doing prom, like people coming out of high school. Nigeria are doing it too. So I think that's the part that a lot of people don't talk about. Like Nigerians are really trying to follow the footstep of Americans. Like Nigerians start doing baby shower. Like Nigeria don't do it. That's not our culture. That's Black American culture that Nigerians have cultivated. Nigerians start doing fashion. I'm not saying we don't do fashion show. Like it becomes where people want to dress fly like an American. You see an artist of a Nigerian artist where having a lot of tattoo. That's influenced by hip hop. Like that's a Black American culture, like hood. Now we do draw tattoo back home. Don't get it wrong, but it's not called tattoo. There's a way it's being structured. It's called we use our local thing to do it. But now people want to have a lot of tattoo. Like back in my own time, you can't say you have tattoo. Man, that's evil. You're done. Like just say boom, devil is inside of you with a tattoo. So, but now it's becoming where a lot of parents don't see it like that. So that's the part we've peaked. Even though there's still the ignorant part of both sides. When I say that, there's still a way Nigerians look at Americans, and even though social media has helped us, there's still a way Americans look at Nigerians too. I've still seen some Nigerian American asking us like, "Do you guys use phone? You guys have AC? All these things too." So it goes in that way. I think we see you guys, even though the media doesn't say that much, it's an intertwined role model for you in the video on both sides. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that leads us to the last question.
So what's the last question?
The last question kind of ties in with what you just asked, but just a little bit more deeper. The talk. Let's talk about the talk. You have before coming to America. It's like they say y'all all had this talk before y'all came to America. Because I feel like it has impacted the way Nigerians see and deal with us Americans. So I want to get your perception about this, the talk. Did you have the talk?
All right. Thank you very much for that. The talk. So for people that doesn't understand what the talk means, it's an understatement of racism, but we're not gonna call it racism. It goes deeper than how anybody might say, but we're just gonna use the talk, right?
Discrimination.
So, yeah, discrimination actually. But respectfully to the first content that's out there. This is not to antagonize what the wonderful lady have said. This is not to change the story. And this is not to say what she said is wrong. But this is just a perspective of a Nigerian that was raised, brought up in Nigeria, schooled in Nigeria with my first degree. I've been privileged to live in Asia for 5 years, and I've been in America, and I've been a law-abiding in America too for more than like 8 years. There's a part that I want to correct in that information that's going out there for the sake of everybody that might be watching it. And the part is this: we have to be careful of how we word things out because for somebody like me living in America, a lot of Americans are looking for answers actually. And that's the part a lot of media house doesn't know. Thank God for music and movie has helped people like us to be able to explain things that you might want to explain, but then you don't have evidence. But then when some clips like that go out, it becomes a conversation for us to explain things better for them. And what I found out from the video that was wrong is saying when it said, the wonderful lady said, parents have that conversation with kids. I might be wrong for this. Maybe she might have to put the years, the generation she's talking about. Because if I'm correct, 40 years ago, how many homes even have the privilege of going to US to even have that conversation with their kids? So think about that for a second. And let's come back to the year people start having the privilege of bringing their kids to America or to London. I'm going to use America because I'm here. Because I remember the viral news was talking about people in America. Now, what I can say, and I agree with this, is I believe people might be having that conversation now because of how the media is still circulating and what algorithm is favoring people when it comes to news. And unfortunately, people might not want to agree with this. We're just the same people, man. If they put the light on both Nigerian and Black American, I can tell you we have so much in similar in common. Being ignorant, like they both says on both sides, is the same. How we dress, how we eat, how we do our carnivals, how we do our shows, how they run things on the street, it's the same thing. So think that for a second before somebody will now tell you like their family is telling you not to talk to them. But what I can say is yes. And how would I agree to what the lady's saying? You could see a lot of Nigerians now in America doesn't want to associate themselves with Black Americans. Not because they know them, but because they believe whatever they think they know. So take that in. That I can say fact. But saying maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago, parents sit their kids down. How many parents can afford DSTV or VHS to tell their kids to say, okay, when you go to that place, go to. It is now that Vista Lottery becomes so big that everybody know about it. A lot of people doesn't have information to social media or internet. Even till now, a lot of parents doesn't even understand what is going on in America. It's them say that so much. People really, really living here saying the truth. And unfortunately for me, people that are living here, I'm not going to generalize this, and I'm not saying for me, but we all know how some Nigerians still look at Americans, Black Americans. And that goes deeper than just business, it goes deeper than relationship, and it goes both ways. There's a lot of Nigerians that married to Black Americans that what they went through, it's not easy. And the flip it back too, it's both ways. You've seen Nigerians that manipulate a lot of people just to get things done, and they don't even think of how the repercussion might be for the next people. So we got to make sure this conversation is being balanced. When somebody just come online and tell you like, oh, when you get to those places, don't tell them this. Unfortunately, I have a lot of African Americans around me as friends, so close, like so close, like their family to me. That conversation like this comes up, and I can't be the only advocate of information. But I decided not to ask me. And what if they found information like that and just validate everything in a kind of a wrong way? So all I'm trying to say in that question is to make sure there's nothing wrong when we want to pass information to put a disclaimer like, okay, I'm saying this for my view, I'm saying this for this set of people, and I'm not generalizing, which I still respect the lady saying is she's not saying it. But I just feel like she can word it better than that because saying like parents see their kids there and tell them not to do this when they get to America, I don't think for me, the area I'm from, is to tell you the only thing we all know that parents will tell you from Nigeria anywhere. Don't move around the bad people. That's a common language in Nigerian, especially your bad people. They tell like, don't move with Babalabaja and Babalabaja because they're going to do this for you. So if a parent is being told to believe that African American is bad, and how many parents are even sending their kids to America? Think about it too. That's another thing. A lot of people that are coming to America today are grown up people that are taking care of themselves. Back in the days where a lot of rich kids can have their parents, yes, they can sit them down. Is he somebody that struggled to sell all their properties to come to America? They will tell them not to talk to Black Americans. But Nigerians don't, there's still that gap. There's a big gap between African Americans and Nigeria and America. Like, big gap. They might tell you they like you, but deep down, everybody is speaking their side, waiting for you to say the triggering word, and boom, right then you will tell like, yeah, I know you're going to say that thing. And some people that can, some friends will be bold enough to tell you, but they will say behind like, yeah, I don't like how they talk. They feel like they know it all true. So, but hopefully, with a couple of years to come, there's been a tremendous growth. That's one thing I will take away. Back in the days, it wasn't like that, but now, yeah, a lot of people are becoming more closer around that. So that proves in our music. So that's what I'll say.
I just want to add, anybody want to come on here and talk deeper about that topic? We are inviting, we taking invites because I
Yeah,
think
sure.
that's a topic that really can carry on and get a little bit more feedback. Because as you expressed, you did not experience that, and you
Oh,
made
yeah.
some valid points. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You touched on some valid points,
I'm not
but
going to say I don't experience
right,
all those spots, But I just feel like
Well, you didn't have that conversation in your household and friends
oh no
around
no
you.
no no
Yes,
because
in your era, right?
yeah, no. You know, it wasn't this conversation we're having today is I'm not gonna say it doesn't exist though. But
Okay,
there's no social media to let you know how many homes
that's
are
fair.
having that conversation. It is easy now because we have social media on our phones. 1 million people can have the same news, boom, just like that. You get what I'm saying? So my own view about that news that was going all around should be for now. When there's my space, how many people want to go to my space and be looking for people telling you like don't do this? When Yahoo come in 203, I was using Yahoo.com in 203. We're going there to go and look at Americans that are looking fine. Most people that use internet will tell you that the biggest people they know is Rihanna in Nigeria. Tell me how many people listen to Nigerian music like that. But people that hardcore, they will tell you Eminem, Tupac, Biggie. So start from that part. You start telling me who are the people telling you not to come to America and love Americans. Just at the hip hop time, we started talking about Americans. So that's just for me. But like we said, if you have you like to come on this particular episode, it's an open ground. And like I said, this is CTDA Media, which means Connecting the Dot Africa. We are here in Houston. Like I said earlier, if you're enjoying to this particular minute, our studio in Nigeria is going to be opening very soon, and our new website is going to be coming up very soon. So there's a lot of things that's going to be coming up in our growth, and we can only do this by people that have been following us. We appreciate again that we've been able to make 1,000 followers on our YouTube. We're going to be having our accessories very soon. So we're going to be having our iPhone case. We're going to be having our face cap, and we're going to be having our bags that's going to be showing under the YouTube. So if you would like to support the brand, it's something that please be looking forward to it. And to wonderful women out there, we're going to be having a bag. So when you go out, you're going to be seeing our logos on your bag. So it's something we will appreciate if you can support us. So till the next episode, for you that have been able to watch us, we do appreciate you. Now, I'm gonna say some things that you don't like. I'm gonna say some things that you don't feel comfortable with. That is an open space that we're willing to have people to come on board, to come and, if you're an American, you're a Nigerian, that you believe you have what it takes. You can email us on our website. Go to www.ctdamongbblacks.com. There's a space there where you can email us, or you could go to our X page, or you could go to our Facebook, or you could go to our Spotify, and give us an email. Our email that you're gonna email is ctda at africanrootstore.com. The African is gonna be K for King, not C. So please, till next episode, stay happy. Let's continue to connect the dots. And my name is Oyeban Jenkins. I didn't do this alone. For you in Houston that you might know, we have no other person. And to all people from the night who are in Louisiana, you have somebody from your side, which our name we call Ashade. To the next episode. Thank you guys.